Well, welcome back to Chinron. Today I'm going to show you how to patch a hole in your sheetrock wall. If you do a lot of your own renovations around your home, you're already going to have some of the tools that you're going to need to do this. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to cut this out a little bit bigger. We're going to be putting a piece of wood in behind here, put a new patch on, mud it up, sand it, paint it, and then we're done. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, everybody's got their own way of doing this. What I like to do is kind of square it off. It's a lot easier to patch up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure over about 8 inches. Can I go down just roughly 8 inches like this? And then I'm going to do probably 7 inches. That. Just kind of square it all off a little bit. Then you're going to take your keyhole saw and you're going to go ahead and cut that right out of there. Alright, next, find a couple pieces of scrap wood, a piece of strapping or whatever you may have, and you can do one of two things. You can put it in the center or you can put it on either side. It's really up to you. I'm going to go ahead and put it on both sides of it just so I have something more to attach to. So go ahead and take your screws, and these are, I think, what are these? These are 1¼ inch screws that I'm using, sheetrock screws. And go ahead and fasten that in. And the whole idea is to give you something to attach to. Kind of center it there, best you can. Alright, so now what will happen is we're going to cut out our piece of sheetrock to fit in there nice and snug. Alright, and if you're lucky enough to have some scraps around like I am, because I'm always renovating something, you can just cut out what you need from the scraps. And then you go ahead, and if you cut that out right, that should slide right in there. So we're going to go ahead and attach it on each side here. Now this little device here, this little countersink, is really kind of important when you're doing sheetrocking, because what it does is it just puts it in just enough so it doesn't stick out, so you can't sand it. There we go. Alright, next you want to take your drywall tape. I'm using the fiberglass drywall tape, and just kind of cover the seams like that. Take your drywall knife, just kind of hold it down and rip it off. Do the same thing down below here. Alright, now it's time to get a little mud and some joint compound. And you can pick this up at Lowe's. Go ahead and just kind of put that on there. Alright, I had to get a different knife. Alright, let's go ahead and let that dry, and we'll come back to it and scuff it up, and we'll put another coat on. Okay, there's our second coat and probably our final. So let's go ahead and hit that again. And once you get the worst of it, then I like to use this little block sander. These work really good. Kind of fine tune it. I like that. Perfect. Okay, and go ahead and get your paint. So hopefully you've got the matches. This has been a while since I painted this wall, so I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not going to bother priming it, because I'm going to end up repainting this wall anyhow, because the Navajo white that I'm using here is not exactly the right match for it, but it's going to get me by. The whole purpose of this is just to patch the hole. I'm not going to bother with a roller because I just got this one little area, and the roller just uses way too much paint for this one little project. So Well, there it is. Not a whole lot to it. I'm real happy with it. The whole idea behind this was just to show you how to quickly patch a hole. I know my paint doesn't match up, but I'm happy with it. So I hope this helps you with your small disaster, and stay tuned for the next one.